Hello, hello. Thank you guys for joining us. My name is Vanessa Canteberry, and I am here with lovely Keisha, and we are going to talk about the power of your story. How are you doing
Yes,
this evening?
I'm doing great. I'm excited. Thank you for inviting me on the blob. This is my second time on the blob. I'm new to the blob, so thanks for welcoming me.
The blab.
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 I'll get used to it.
It's
I jumped
okay.
on. I jumped on the other day and I got messages saying you have a message. You have a message. I don't even know how to check my messages yet.
I
So
didn't even know you could have messages. See, I didn't even know that. I didn't know that.
some
Oh wow.
I'll
Yes,
figure it out.
Blab is amazing. Blab is absolutely amazing. And go ahead and introduce yourself one for a second.
Okay, well, again, my name is Keisha Blunt. I am the creator and founder of the Me First Mommy program, which is basically a program to finally get moms to start putting themselves back on the to-do list, making themselves a priority. Too many times as moms, we put ourselves at the end of the list if we're on the list at all. We forget about our goals. We forget about our dreams. We use our children as an excuse. We use a lack of time as an excuse. And I'm just creating a movement right now. Now is the time for moms to start dreaming again, rediscover yourself, figure out what it is that you love again, and just live life. You can still live a full life and be a great mom at the same time. So that's what I do. I'm a lifestyle coach for moms.
See, I love that. I love that. And you would be amazed at how many more people just need that extra push. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's like they have the idea because with us being women, we have that intuition. We could multitask.
Hmm.
We could put the bottle in feed the babies, have the phone
Right.
going, and doing homework and cooking dinner at the same time. But at sometimes we'll get burnt out. And it's like,
Hmm.
okay, now I'm doing all of this, and then I got to go back and work for somebody else. When you
Hmm.
missing those precious moments with your children that you can't get back, you just cannot get it back. So you have to be able to find a way and be open enough to be able to accept that there's a better way. There is
Right.
absolutely a better way. And so I just had my grandson for 2 days. And
Hmm.
so he's always about his Gigi. He wants all my attention. He don't care. It don't matter. And when I look at him now, even though he's 5 and my grandbaby, the little one is 1, I look back and I remember getting up every day to go work for somebody else.
Hmm.
Every day. So I did that for 20 years. And remind you, I had my kids when I was a teenager. So every day I'm up working for somebody else, extra hours that I'm taking to travel because at that time I didn't have a car. So I'm taking all that time out to travel, take my kids to 2 different directions to be able to take them to daycare, and then turn around and fight on a bus and a train and a plane and everything else just to go work for
Yes.
somebody else and come back and do it again. It's like, where do you have time for yourself, let alone to be able to get that breather? And then the only time you really do, really, if you really think about it, you get home and maybe about a good 6:30, maybe 7 o'clock. Don't let the rain or the snow come. I'm just saying. That's a whole nother story. Then you got to do dinner, and then you got to do bath time. Where's the time at for your kids? Now you're trying to figure out your downtime. So we do miss a lot. So it's absolutely amazing to be in this
Hmm.
space right now. So we could be able to help other women to let them know that it's so possible that they too can be able to live and enjoy what they do. I mean, I'm having fun. I'm just saying. and all the things that I'm doing, it is
Right.
absolutely amazing. But you got to be willing to be able to put in the work so you don't have to work for somebody else for the rest of your life because, man, you can't get the time back. You
Absolutely.
cannot get it
Absolutely.
back.
And it's tough when
So
when
that's
you're
what
work
it is.
when you're working and you're doing something that you love doing. It doesn't feel like work. So you don't have to feel like you're wasting so many hours or so many years out of your time away from your family that you can't get back. And just to
Mhm.
go back a little bit about, like the power of your story, like you said, you were a teen mom. So was I. I had my first child at 15 years old. So I
What,
could
girl? I didn't know that.
15,
Hold on.
yes, 15. By the time I was 24, I had 4 children already.
What?
See, this
I
is
didn't know that.
yes, this is the power. This is the
Girl.
power of your story. And this is why I tell women all the time, don't
That's
be
tweetable.
afraid.
Let me tweet this out.
But sometimes I think about all the things that I've done, and I can't believe that I did it. When I was 15 years old, I was still in high school. So what I did was, the daycare was maybe 2 blocks away from my high school. And the principal was, he was nice enough to let me go on the work study program. You know, when you leave early for school, you're supposed to be going to a job. But he knew that I had a baby, so I was actually going home to my baby. So I would walk down the street to the daycare where my daughter was, strap her on the little strappy thing that you put on with my book bag on, and walk home every day, do my homework, and take care of my daughter. And talking about what you said about how you're so exhausted at the end of the day. This is how I actually realized that I was cheating myself. And this is the moment where I finally told myself that I was going to stop cheating myself, and I was going to put myself on a priority list. And this is when I told myself that I wanted to go back to college. So I said, okay, I'm going to go back to college. I went back to school, and I remember I was going to Rutgers. I got accepted into the business school of Rutgers, which I thought was a big deal. I was so proud of myself. So what I would do was, our children were still small. So what my husband would do is he would drive me to school after work. Mind you, I was working part-time in the day. When he got off work, we only had one car. He would drive me to my night classes with the kids in the car. And then at night, he would pack all the kids in the car again and come back to pick me up. And then I would come home, make sure the kids eat. And then finally, at the end of the night, I would open up my laptop or open up my books to do my homework and to study, but I would be exhausted. There were times where I would literally cry over my textbooks because I was so exhausted and I didn't know how I was going to do it. But I realized that I was putting 100% in work, my 9 to 5. I was putting 100% into my family, my husband, and my children. But at the end of the day, when it came to me doing something that I wanted to do for myself, I was cheating myself every night because I would close my book and say, I'm too tired for this, and I would go to sleep. But then I had to change the way I thought about it. I said, you know what? I can't continue to put myself last and let my goals fall off.
Right.
So what I did was I still had great work ethic at work, but on my downtime, and I don't really suggest everybody to do this, but my downtime at work, I typed up papers and I printed them out at work.
Do what you got to do.
Because I said I had to do what I had to do. Just so that I can do what I needed to do for myself. I wanted to be an example to my children. I wanted them to see, okay, education is important. And that's what I had to do. So that was the moment, my aha moment, where I realized that, you know, you have to stop cheating yourself in life. What you enjoy is important. Your goals are important. Your dreams are important. Go for it. Make the time for it. They say you make time for things that are important to you. Make yourself a priority. There's time. There's just things you can do, things you can rearrange and prioritize to make that time for yourself.
That is so true.
And that's just part of my story.
Is so true. That, you know, I see oftentimes where people are putting on their statuses. You know, these emojis, they be cracking me up, and how people make these little statuses. And I'm just looking, I was like, empire coming on. I'm like, empire coming on. Okay. Power coming on. I'm just, okay. And one time, I don't know, like I never realized how creative. I'm just like, dang, I am really creative. You know, welcome, Oracle. Thank you so much for joining us. And I turned around and I had, I don't know exactly how I said it, but when it comes to me, it'll flow. And I want to say it's interesting how people would rather watch somebody else and watch them on empire instead of building their empire, but you allowing other people to take your power instead of you owning your power. And it was basically about these powerful empires. And I like empire and I like power. But when are you going to use your power to build your empire? So now, not only are you watching it, you have your own.
Exactly. And DVR was created for a reason.
Boom. Boom. Now that's an aha moment. And that's tweetable. I'm just saying.
Exactly.
We have to
Saturday is my DVR moment.
Yes.
Exactly. Because, and what I say too is, I say, you know what? She making her millions already. And I love Taraji, but Taraji, she making her money already. Let me start making mine. I can watch her Saturday. I can record it. I can watch her Saturday and enjoy that. But right now, let me put myself first so I can start making money. I remember I'm a Beyonce fan, and I wanted to go to a concert that she was having, and her tickets were, I think, $500 each. And of course, I was going to drag my husband along with me. So that's $1,000.
Let's not talk about dinner. You want to look cute, girl? Then you got to get a babysitter.
No, I said, you know what? I said, Beyonce rich already. She can have that. I'll save my $1,000. I invested in myself.
But you know what happened?
And that's another.
I don't have even cable to watch TV.
What's that?
I know that's right. You know, do you remember, was it last year maybe, that Beyonce secretly put her whole album out in the middle of the night and boom, woke up an extra millionaire again? It is like, wait a minute.
Again.
And you guys are talking about, oh, her CD hot. Well, when your butt gonna get hot? Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Even though it was 99 cents here and the whole album, I believe, was maybe not even $10. $10. Imagine $10 per person. And I didn't even read the whole article. I just seen a tagline. Beyonce turned around because she wants to grow. She fired every single person that she used to work with and hired a whole new staff. Why? Because this woman is building her empire. In order for you to build your empire, sometimes you just got to say, you know what? It was great working with you, but it's time for me to move on. And you may not be able to fit that criteria, but just remember, this is business. It's nothing personal, because at the end of the day, you got to keep on going so you could be able to reach that millionaire to the billionaire status. And you have to invest in yourself in a whole nother life, because she got Blue Ivy. You know, they got Jay-Z and Blue Ivy. They come from, even though her parents was, married for years, they sacrificed some things for Beyonce to be in that group. Jay-Z came from New York, and he came from like a drug dealer, but he turned what he learned from the streets, and now that man is millions. So it's like, people stop, don't hold your past and saying, oh, I can't come up out the hood. I can't come up out the project, or it's not possible. That's not realistic. I remember when somebody told me. They told me. And,
Go ahead.
And when I was thinking about it, I said, whoo, wait a minute. Let me hold it in, Vanessa. Hold on, because I know me. And it was a childhood friend that we grew up with, and they was asking about my business, and it was like, that don't even seem realistic. And I said, but you and he little, acting like he big, but he not. And so this guy see, having fun with it. You see what I'm saying? Have fun. And so this guy, he's a childhood friend, and he said that my business is not realistic. I said, it's not realistic. But you are how old? And you still live with your mama, but you got some kids. And I'm just saying.
Or they say, who's going to pay for that?
You see what I'm saying?
Obviously you making money.
Baby, pretty money.
Exactly.
So it's just like, either you do or you don't. And as I learned along the way, some will, some won't. So what? But you still got to be able to do what you need to do. That's for you, right? And so at what point are you going to decide and make a decision so you could be able to say, you know what, this right here, this is not enough. You know what I mean? It's not enough. What am I going to do now? And so I remember when my mom was getting sick about a couple of years ago, and of course, it was crazy. They called me. And so even though they called me, I was able to stop what I'm doing and to be able to go make sure that things were good with her, right? And so now making sure things are good with her, I was still able to take my tablet, my laptop and my phone right along with me, and still was able to work, answer clients' calls or whatever the case may be. And so people need to understand that with this new technology we have in this, why can you not? Why can you not be able to make that money? As much as time people sit on social media, right? As much as they spend on social media, I don't need to do this post. I'm terrible with names. I think his name is not the guy from Facebook. It's one of the guys from the Sharks. And he invested into Uber when they just started. And he turns around, he was like, you know what, people, they didn't like the decisions that I made to be able to invest in Uber or invest in Twitter. He said, but now the company is like in millions and billions. And he said, and I benefit off of it. Why? You don't know.
But you know what? We gotta stop. We gotta stop waiting for other people to believe in what we're doing. It's usually not until you start making money and you start being successful, then family and friends start calling you, asking you, how did you do that? Or can you help me do that? Can you show me how to do that? So they always, because they're too scared to jump out of the box and try it for themselves, they have to wait for you to go out there and see if you fall on your face or if you succeed for them to then want to get started.
Girl, you starting some stuff here. I had to change my number. Because it got so bad. Yes, I changed my number. And I don't apologize for it. I just don't apologize for it. You gotta when you get to a certain level and in a certain age in your life, it's like you just don't want any shenanigans around you. You want to make sure that you got a good set of people that's around you that's going to have the best intentions. Because if you are determined to be successful, you believed and received that you want to be successful, that you got into the trenches and you did the work. If you kept going even when you wanted to quit, you know what I mean? And then you turn around and now you going to benefit.
Right. No. Don't work that way.
What I mean?
Don't work that way, sweetheart. Everybody has to put in the work.
Yes, everybody has to work. And so, like, with all the things, and I haven't even told my family all the things that I do because I just like, I'm not doing anything. And so now when they hear little by little the things that I'm doing, they're like, wait a minute, what? Like, wait a minute. Because you was the one that was waiting for me to fail. I remember when I had lost my job, people was laughing at me, my own family. And even though I know my family is dysfunctional, is get up and get out, I was still determined to go on a pattern that I started a long time ago with breaking a cycle with my children. I wanted to be able to have that pattern continue on with my business. And so it was nothing new to me, and I just sat back and I prayed for them, loved them from a distance, and kept doing what I needed to do so I could be able to move forward, so I could be able to reach whatever that accomplishment that I needed to reach. And I never thought it would be this big. I never, ever thought it would be this big. You know what I mean? But at some point, either you're going to take a stand. They say if you don't take a stand for something, you're going to fall for everything. So what point are you going to take and invest in yourself? When are you going to just say, you know what, forget what the naysayer's saying? When am I going to just say, you know what, this is for me and this is for my future? Because now I got grandkids. My children seeing their mother get up every day tired. You know what I mean? They seen their mom live check to check, and we're not going to pay this bill right now, baby, because I got to get groceries in this house. You know what I mean? They seen all of those things mama went without to make sure that they have. But now that I have these grandchildren and I know better, I need to be able to set them up for success now because I didn't know any better back then. But at the same time, You don't want to use that as your excuse as to why you didn't move forward. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Instead of your kids being instead of your kids being the reason why you don't do it, that's the absolute reason why you should do it. Do you want them to struggle the same way that you struggled? And like you said, coming from the hood, I came straight from the hood. I came from Newark, New Jersey, born and raised. Okay. My mother was struggling with her demons. My father was locked up most of my life. And I had to make a decision. That's another thing. You can't always play victim or use your background as an excuse. You know, you can't do that. You always have a decision to make. You can either go with the crowd or you can decide that, you know what, I'm going to go this way and I'm going to do something different.
Exactly.
You know, and that's what I got. Thank God that's what I decided to do. That's what my sister decided to do, because who knows where we would have ended up. I could still be in Newark, New Jersey. You know, right now I'm in the suburbs with my family, 2-car garage, you know, and it's a blessing. It's a blessing. It's hard work.
What's that? What is that? Is it the Jeffersons? Moving on up.
Moving on up. And I still have a lot of work to do.
Yes.
I don't, you know, I still keep pushing. I still have a lot of work to do.
And it's not to say that we are better than anybody else. I tell people that all the time. I'm no better than the next person. I still got things that I need to work on, and I'm okay with being able to say, you know what, I'm going to work on that. I'm okay with letting people know my failures. I'm okay with all of that. You know what I mean? Because I know my worth. You see what I'm saying? I have to do the work within myself. I could be able to be the cutest person with the biggest hips, but at the end of the day, I had to work on my inner, because it starts with the inner. What are you going to do to be able to fix whatever is broken that's inside of you? Because when people don't fix what's inside broken what's inside of them, their story is not going to really be a story, because they so broken, they too afraid to share their story. You see what I'm saying? So don't be afraid to share your story, because your story could be something that could be beneficial to that person out there that's right now on that ledge that said, you know what, nobody will understand me. No one that will not believe in me. Nobody don't love me because I don't even love myself. So why am I here? But if you just imagine sharing your story and the things that you have been through and what you overcome, and they say, well, wait a minute, hold on, you were what? Wait a minute. So what makes you think God won't fix you too? What makes you think that he left you there? What makes you think that he still don't love you? You know what I'm saying? We can't pick and choose our parents, because I can tell you a whole slew of stuff about my parents. But when you got two people that, and I say this all the time, I wrote this in my first book, and people may not like it. And that's quite fine. They don't like that I work for myself, and that's quite fine too. But at the end of the day, I can't pick my parents. All I can do is love on them. And if they choose not to take a better path to better themselves for their future, or to do what they need to do for their children, and if it's not going to be for your children, you got another chance to get it right for your children's children. And if you choose still not to get it right, then that is fine. But it has nothing to do with me, because I choose to move forward. Okay, I'm gonna be quiet.
Amen. I was on Periscope, and I hope I'm not getting her name wrong. I think her name was Stacey Grant. I started following her. She's a speaker. Yeah, I was following her, and she's doing like this, I guess it's like a challenge thing. She's reading out of this book every morning, and I was listening, and she read a passage out of this book, and she was saying that, you know, you're waiting for God to part the sea for you, and he's just waiting for you to get your feet wet. So, and that just spoke volumes to me, because it's like, okay, you waiting for this miracle, you waiting for him to do this for you, and he's just waiting for you to have enough faith to take that first step.
Let me tell you something.
That's all you got to do, is take that first step.
I wrote in my book, my first book that's coming out, and one of the chapters, what was it? It's something about planting seeds. Are you mindful of the seeds that you are planting? Are you mindful of the seeds that you are planting? And the reason why I say seeds, because I remember that I didn't really have that foundation. when I was growing up, And so when I wanted to break that cycle, do you guys see my message? You know what? You have me over here shouting. Yes, I do see your message. Tell it. Oh my God. Yeah, I see it. Hallelujah. I'm just saying. And so I said, and so what I said, I think we probably need to share this out for one more time because Jesus fixed it. So I said that I want to be
the giftologist. She can hop on, right? If she want to join.
Yeah, girl, yeah. This is
gift. Yes.
Come on in. I'm just saying, have a seat. Who's gonna see this song? Come on in. Don't ask. You do the blab. Okay. I need what's your message?
So am I.
Keisha is too. I'm just listening. I don't know how. There's a button. Are you on your phone or are you on your computer? Because I know the phone is a little bit different than the computer. I know that part. You on your laptop? Do you see that thing where it says open seat? You click on it. Come on in. There you go. Welcome to Black.
Don't be shy.
And so one of the things I was real big about is planting the right seeds for my children. I wanted to be able to not only raise my children when they turn 10. I want to raise my children, because sometimes people want to be parents when these kids become preteens. No.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I wanted to be able to have my kids know that I'm here, that I got you, and all of that good stuff. But at the same time, I wanted to be able to plant some seeds in them so big, so deep, and so rooted. So when they need to be able to go back and say, I'm having a hard time right now. I'm so embarrassed I can't call my mama. And I darn sure can't call my father. But I remember those seeds that my mama planted for me long time ago. That I could go ahead and dig up in that dirt. When I'm digging in this dirt, I'm going to learn some things because I got to move some things back. It's going to be some water that's going to come through, but at the same time, that water's not going to overflow me. You see what I'm saying? And so when I'm digging a little bit deeper, I know I got to go deep down because people want things to be on the surface. Sometimes you got to dig. And so I planted these seeds so deep in them. So when they go down to the root, when you get to the root of it, that seed that was planted, that you went back and watered so often, they need to know that those seeds was planted in them long time ago. All they got to do is be bold enough to say, you know what? I'm human. I remember my mama said that I was going to make some mistakes. And I'm going to remember the things that she taught me because we all got to be clear. We going to stray. We will do that. We will stray. But I need you to know that I put that foundation there for you. Those seeds were there for you. Don't be afraid to go back to those seeds, dig them up, so you could go back to the school book. Come on, and we're gonna turn the pages, and we're gonna get back into class and let them know it's in session, right? And so, when I was just having a conversation with my daughter, and they know that I'm bold. I don't know how to sugarcoat anything. I'm just saying, and I just gave it to her, really, really straight. And I told her, I had you at 16. I stay on you because you are a mother now. And when I stay on you because a mother, because you got to be the eyes and the ears and the voice for them babies. You know what I mean? Because if I got to get involved, you're not going to like it. I'm just saying. So you just got to remember, plant those seeds because your baby's going to need to go back and get them and say, you know what? I don't remember this part, but I know it's something there. But if I'm going to be bold enough and just say I could go and get those seeds and dig in them seeds, I'm going to learn something. So I'm going to go ahead and have several seeds. But yes, planting those seeds is so important. So important. And people love to say, oh, waiting on God. How are you really waiting on God when he just waiting for you? I love when people say that. They kill me when they say that. Hey, Olivia. Now you know how to YouTube Lab. Hello, welcome. How you doing?
Hello. I got you.
Welcome.
Thank you. How do you pronounce your name? Keisha?
Yes, that's correct. Okay. Yes.
Cool. Miss Vanessa. You had me over there doing the acting.
I don't know. I just tell God, all right now, let me just. I'm gonna take a seat.
Because, and like you said, I see you said it's a part of growing, and mistakes is what makes us who we are. You know, life is full of experiences and mistakes, but you know what? I always tell people you have to get the lesson out of it.
Right.
There's a lesson in everything.
Yes.
So when you're going through something, you have to say, okay, what is God trying to teach me right now? What can I get out of this so I won't make the same mistake again, and I can use this to make me stronger and a wiser person?
That's right.
So you can't go through life blind. You have to go through life with your eyes open and just try to find a lesson in everything. I think a lot of times we try to, we go through pain, we go through struggle, and we try to use different devices and addictions to like numb us from it. But it's not really going anywhere. You're just pushing it to the side and it just comes back later. So in order to really deal with it, you have to get the lesson out of it. You have to go through the pain, push through the pain.
No matter how bad it hurts.
So you won't make the same mistake.
No matter how bad
Absolutely.
it hurts. And like I have my daughter, my oldest daughter is about to be 32 in 3 days.
You look
3 days.
good.
I'm 51.
Wow.
And
wow, you look good.
So now I'm telling her, when you said that you have to learn so you can tell your kids, I'm telling her. Like when you were talking about how we just get up, we learn to get up, go to school, and get a job and go to work. Well, that's how I taught my kids. But now I got grandkids, and the oldest is 10, the youngest is just a month old out of the 5 that I have. But I'm telling them that, like the oldest one, the 10-year-old and the 6-year-old, even the 2-year-old, you don't have to go to school, go to college, and get a job. You can you can do other things. You do got to go to school, but if you don't want to go and work in a job for 15 years, because they're not letting you stay 15 and 20 years no more, you do a good 15 and then we got to get you out of here. So I'm teaching them how you can think outside the box and start your own business. Learn what you need to learn, but do it so if you decide that you don't want to be in the working world, you can do your own business. A little girl, 9 years old, her and her mother came up with these new type of barrettes. Little girls wear barrettes, and then you always lose them. Mm-hmm. Well, they made barrettes that snap on both sides, and they don't come off. She started at 7.
Wow.
So she didn't have her own business for 2 years, and she's only 9. So it can be done. And that's what I tried. That's the things that I'm like. I had to be a parent at an early age and a single mother at an early age. So I did what I had to do to take care of them. So I didn't do everything the right way. So now I'm trying to build my business along with changing my life of what the things I went through, because I used to play that victim. Both of my parents wasn't there. My grandmother took care of me. And then when I turned 14, she sent me to stay with my mom. Well, I didn't want to stay with my mom. So nobody ever talked to me about finish school, go to college, get a degree, get a job. All I knew was that I didn't want to live with my mom, get pregnant, get welfare, and you can get your own apartment. And that's what I did because nobody else never told me anything else. And I only did what I knew.
Wow.
Yeah. So everything else, but even once I have 3 kids, 3 girls from 18 to 25, one at 18, one at 20, and then one at 25. And I finished. I didn't finish high school, but I did take my GED. I went to college, and I worked. So it can be done.
Yes, it can.
You can break cycles because I can tell you, how God is good. I got 3 girls. 3. All of them have graduated from high school. One got married, went into the military, and then start having kids.
Wow.
The 30-year-old, she has no kids. The 27-year-old, she just had her first baby. So I broke cycles.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you have to do. You have to know how to break your cycles, and you have to break them, or your kids will be the same way you were.
They
They'll do
will.
the same
They'll
thing.
repeat it.
Right.
You know.
They will repeat it. They will. And you know, it's crazy because I don't know if I ever told you that, Keisha, that my book that's coming out is called Breaking a Cycle.
Oh, no, you didn't. You didn't tell me that.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm. It's called Breaking a Cycle.
Yeah.
So,
And I think we've all done that.
Mm-hmm.
what you said about
And it's so possible.
when I seen
That's
this,
what we
the
all have
power
to
of your
share our
story, I was like, okay, I need to listen
Mhm.
to that. So when you came on, and you was like, oh, somebody's on here. Because when I clicked on the email, I said, let me put this up now, because if I don't, I'll be forgot and went on to doing something else. So I had to leave it up on my laptop, because I've always been very shy and wouldn't talk, because we were always taught you don't tell people your business.
Yeah.
Right.
Your business,
Mhm.
our business, your house business, do not go out this door. And you can be, as a kid, when my mama or my daddy or my grandmother gave me that look, because you running your mouth too much, you know to shut up. So I don't talk in front of people. I don't tell people about what's going on with me. I've never told them. I've told maybe a few people my story, not many.
Mhm.
But it's you. I was taught you don't tell nobody nothing. And the reason why I couldn't tell nobody nothing is because my parents were drugging, so they didn't want me telling nobody our business. You know.
Yeah. You know what, Olivia, I was raised the same way. And my mother was an addict. And like I said, my father was in prison, and you just don't tell your business. And it wasn't till I got older where I started, sharing my story. And I just felt like, okay, well, I'm an open book. I don't have anything to hide. And I knew that other people around me were listening when I share my story. And I think the reason why I started sharing my story is because I wish that I had a positive woman in my life to help me go through the things that I went through, to teach me how to be in a relationship with a man, to teach me how to be married to a man, to teach me how to be a mom. Like, I didn't have a female in my life to show me how to do all those things. And so I went through a lot of things personally, and I know that 9 times out of 10, if I went through it, there has to be other women out there that went through it. And I had a friend of mine tell me, she said, she's always quiet. And that you always have the joke like, oh, it's those quiet ones. And we always pick with her because she's always quiet. But one day she came to me and she said, you know what, Keisha, you know what I like about you is that you don't have a problem sharing your story. Like, you don't have a problem just saying what it is. You're very open. And I knew that a lot of things that I was saying, she was learning from it, even though she never opened her mouth and said, I was going through that, or I'm going through that. She never had to open her mouth, but she was listening. And everything that I shared with her that I went through, now she's thinking, well, you know what? I never thought about it that way. Or I didn't know Keisha was going through that too. So by sharing your story, you may think that other people are not listening, but they're listening. And you're helping them, even if you don't know that you're helping them. Yeah. I've had people come to me from years ago, email me or on social media and say, oh, Keisha, I'm inspired by you because, they're watching, they see what I'm doing. I'm inspired because you did this. I'm inspired by you because you went back to school or you started your own business or whatever. But hopefully it's enough for them to see what I'm doing, to give them the courage to take that first step to do the same thing, for themselves. So that's why your story is so important. It makes you you. Nobody can do what you do better than you can.
That is so true.
Because you're you.
Yep. I so agree. I so agree.
Because I'm that listener, your friend that just I'm quiet, and I'm that person that will just sit there and listen and be just like that. Oh, okay. Take what I need from each person talking and try to make my life better from what I heard from them, because I never just felt that I should tell my story to anybody. Even though I have heard people that, like you just said, you were the same way, and that your parents were the same way. Before, I would have never told nobody that.
Yeah.
Nobody. Because I felt like people judged me, or they would put a stigma on me by me telling people my story.
And people don't even realize. You should be. I'm quiet. People didn't. I'm really shy. I'm telling you, I am. I kid you not. I did that on a Periscope one time, and the pastor cast. What I keep trying to tell you, get on Periscope. I'm just saying. I'm very, very. I mean, I cannot express how shy I am. To this day, I'm still shy, and I'm an introvert. That's me. I stay in a corner. I won't. I'm watching what you're doing. I'm watching what you're saying, because I'm very observant of like who's around me. You know what I mean? Because I'm very careful with my circle. And so, just like you ladies, I'm sharing my story. I just really start sharing my story like into more and more details late last year. I didn't really go into more and more. And so people kept like, dang, they kept reaching out to me, and I was like, somebody watching? And you never know, especially with these platforms, you never know. Right. And so with doing that, I just started to come out more and more. And my personality was like showing like more. I'm like, all right, I'm evolving now. So with me, in order for me to be able to grow my business, you have to get on various platforms. Like they have Blab, they have Periscope. We can't just keep typing a message behind Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn. People want to see you live streaming nowadays, right? And so I was like, okay. So when this lady wound up reaching out, she was like, you know what, you got to get on that up front now. And I was like, no. And it was like, you got so many messages that you could be able to help people with. But I know, I'm just saying, I'm just speaking to you. Hallelujah.
That's it.
And so in order for you to do that, in order for you to do that, you have to be in the forefront, right? And so with doing that, just sharing my story, just three interviews I had just last month alone, sharing my story, right? One with Keisha, girl, just sharing my story, and I met her on social media. You know what I'm saying? And so now somebody else just reached out to me. I will be doing a speaking on a platform with a celebrity now. Because I share my story. You see what I'm saying? I share my story. I am no longer apologetic about my story. I'm not. I'm no longer, because, you know, one of the things that I said with breaking a cycle, in one of my books, in the book, well, I have 3 books coming out, but in that book, I want people, it's 7 chapters that's in this book. And the reason why I select 7 chapters is because what? It means completion. Right? I want you to be free on whatever it is that you are dealing with. So it may not be the planting the seeds. It probably could be about the relationship. I wrote a chapter in my book, Would You Date You? A lot of people keep getting these knucklehead relationships because they feel they got to have somebody in their presence, in their bed, holding their hand. I'm just saying. But then at the end of the day, they won't even go on a date with themselves, be on a blind date with themselves, surprise themselves and date themselves so they can know how to love themselves. So when that next person comes into their face and their presence, they will be like, oh, I know what love looks like. I know what it feels like. I understand love a little bit more. And so maybe that's one of the things that you probably need. So it's just like various things that I have went through in my life is like I put them in chapters, 7 chapters. I want you to be complete in whatever they may be. And so I went deeper, and it scared the heck out of me, and I had to hold back a little bit. I was like, okay, wait a minute. Hold on. But that was needed. That was needed, and I didn't understand it, but it was needed. You know, like when I had one of them that it was like scared the heck out of me, it's called removing the layers. We put a Band-Aid on open wounds thinking it's going to heal because we want to face it. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And so it all depends on what people are going through and holding themselves as hostage and playing that victim role. And now you wonder why that open wound that you've been having a Band-Aid on for 30 years, where every time you take that Band-Aid off, it's still open. Not only is it open, it's infected. So how many more times are you going to let this stuff be affected? Or do you just need an amputation? I'm just saying.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to be quiet.
Yeah. Preach, girl, preach. Church up in here. Church up in here.
I always tell people when you could talk about a whole lot of stuff when you've been through some things. And you know, we all gonna make mistakes. I don't care what size, I don't care what color, how tall, your education background. Your education is not better than my education because I only got a high school diploma and I got it's as if I got multiple degrees and run circles around people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So we all have to understand we all got a space here. But you would never know where you are supposed to be if you keep your mouth closed. You keep hiding behind the camera. So yes, I'm an introvert all day long, every day. That's me. But if I'm going to hide behind a mask and wanted to be seen, then I'm never going to be heard. So when are you going to take that mask off, that open wound, and just deal with it? So that's how we able to learn from our mistakes in life. Because I'm not perfect. There's no perfect thing as being a perfect parent. Nobody's perfect. We learn along the way. I wrote when I was reading to my when I was writing my thank yous and my acknowledgments to my children, I got emotional because I was like, you know what? You guys seen what I had to go through. You seen that I didn't know it all. I'm a single mom. I had to play the role of your uncle. I had to play the role of your dad. I had to play the role of grandma. I had to play the role of grandpa. And I still had to be your mama at the end of the day. So I'm playing all these roles and I really don't even know what the heck I'm doing, but I'm going to figure it out. And you allow me to be able to still pour into you, love on you, and still be able to grow with you. And that alone, you are my best gift yet. And I'm so grateful for that because I know with me growing up, I was in the most dysfunctional, bitterness, toxic environment there could be. You know what I mean? And that's something I know that pain all too well. And with that pain, I did not want that to be in my children. I do not want to pick up that seed and say, oh, let me go over here and plant this in my children. And that's not the seed that you need to be planted because it was planted in you and it hurt you and it broke you. And now you're trying to fix you, but then you're going to turn around and break your children. So I did not want that. So yes, I'm going to share my story. Yes, you share your story. Yes, you do not hide behind the mask. Yes, you pull off that old, dirty old Band-Aid and let that wound be exposed. And I want you to face it head on. That's what you do. And with that, that's some grown folks talk for your ass. I'm just saying. Because we have to be real. We have to be real with ourselves. We really do. We too busy being on this facade. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yes, I carry multiple heads. I have multiple things going on. But let me tell you, I went through some things. You're going to go through some things. But at the end of the thing, I'm not better than you. You're not better than me. We all can win together. But share your story so you can help somebody else out. You are wrong and you are selfish and you low down and dirty if you don't share your story with somebody else because your story can help and benefit somebody else. Share your story. No longer apologize because of what you went through. That's what you went through. You have the ink to write the chapter. And if nobody will be able to read it, if you're not willing to open it up to be an open book. With that being said, my name is Vanessa Canteberry.
But one thing about playing a victim too is like you have to forgive.
You do.
I had to forgive my mom for all the things I went through in my childhood. You know, I had to forgive my dad before I can move on. And now after forgiving them, now I can share my story. You know, I don't have to be ashamed. Yep. You know, because it takes a strong person to come out of what we came out of. Girl. Do you know where we could be right now?
Yes.
Do you know I could be in Newark selling my body, you know, strung out on drugs, having somebody else take care of my kids. Yep. You know, but there's a lot of stereotypes out there, and you know, people expect when you come from a family or a background like that, people expect you to turn out a certain way, but like we proved everybody wrong.
Oh yeah,
you know, you should be proud of that.
That's one thing I did. I told myself I'm not going to be like my parents. I am like my parents in some ways because
we all have that
who I come from, but I'm not going to be like that. And I made sure that I was not going to be like that. And I made sure that my kids would do one better than me, you know.
Right.
So I understand what you're saying. Yes.
And that's one thing that we all should want. I tell my kid all the time, I want you better than me.
Put me on mute because I have to take this call.
Okay.
Okay, no problem.
I want them to be better than me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because I learned later on that it's a better way. But at the same time, I want you to add on to the seeds that even though I planted some good old seeds, but I need to turn around and I want you to add more to those seeds. So your kids could go back and say, you know what? Yes, Gigi left an amazing legacy. But at the same time, my mom added on to that legacy. So the pain that we go through, we need to grow through it. That's what it's about. So,
absolutely.
with that, it's absolutely amazing. Good Lord.
We have to do this again.
Yes. You just let me know when, and we could do this again. So you just let me know, girl. So yeah, I enjoy it. Awesome. I really enjoy it. It is. That's why, you get on these platforms and then you could turn around and I'll tell you this offline, what you could be able to do, because we're going to get ready to stop the recording because I know you do have something to do and I know I have something to do. We don't want to take up too much time, but this is something that you could be able to share your message and it'll be on YouTube.
Oh, okay. I do not.
Yes, honey. And so I want you to go ahead and let people know how they could be able to connect with you, because you never know who will see this. You never know how many people you'll be able to inspire with your message that you share tonight. And I want you to be able to unapologetically tell people how they could be able to connect with you so they don't have to go search when you just provided the information.
Thank you. Well, again, Keisha Blunt. It's at Keisha Blunt across all platforms. My website is KeishaBlunt.com. Social media, Facebook, Instagram, KeishaBlunt.com. You can email me at info@KeishaBlunt.com as well. I'm a lifestyle coach for moms. So if you're a mom and you need to rediscover yourself, you're ready to start that business, you're ready to go back to school to get that degree, or you're just ready to create time for yourself, shoot me an email. We can chat, we can talk about it, and we can get you on the right path. And the last thing that I want to leave you guys with is share your story and just jump and take that first step. I promise you, if you jump and you take that first step, that you will surprise yourself every time. Absolutely.
Well, my name is Vanessa Canteberry. I am the CEO and founder of Inspired by Vanessa. I can be found at inspiredbyvanessa.com. and also inspiredbyvanessa@gmail.com. I am a motivational speaker, mindset coach, and next will be an author. So one thing that I always want to tell people is own your power, own your story, own your truth, and do not apologize for what you went through, but just know there is a purpose for you to grow through it so you can learn through it. So that's how you could be able to connect with me. And Olivia, I know that it says a giftologist. If you have a business and you want people to be able to connect with you, feel free to let them know how they could be able to connect with you. So if somebody come back and watch this video, because it will be on YouTube, that they could be able to find Olivia, not the shy Olivia, but the Olivia that has a message, that's something that's so powerful that she's going to continue to share her story. Yes, and yes. Okay.
My name is Olivia, and I call myself the giftologist because I have a business called Shalani's Custom Cakes and Gifts, and we are a gift service business. We help a person select the right gift they are giving to a loved one or a friend, whether it's for a baby shower, a bridal shower, a wedding, or a holiday, or just because. It's more than just going to the store and buying a gift. You want to give a person a gift that they will use and that they will like, instead of just putting it up in the closet. So what we do is we help you with that. We find out what's their favorite color, what are the things that they like, and we create a gift based on those options that you give us. And my motto is a gift of love is a gift worth giving. So if you put their their light skin to that gift, then they're gonna love it. My goal with my business is to eventually start a mentor or a nonprofit towards teen moms, helping teen moms with giving them the tools to know how to be a teen mom, to give them that confidence and help them grow, along with also helping them out if they need diapers or baby clothes or things of that nature. My story is I was a teen mom, and my mom was a teen mom. She had me at 15. I had my first one at 18. Got pregnant when I was 17. So she couldn't tell me how to be a mom because she didn't know how. Her mother didn't. Her mother had her when she was later in her 40s, and she was an alcoholic. So she didn't have anyone to teach her how to be a mom. So nobody ever taught it, me or her. So I had to learn how to be a mom on my own. And I ran into so many girls my age not knowing how to be a mom. And I told myself, one day I'm going to help other teen moms. You know, whether it's just having a conversation. I did a daycare for 7 years because I wanted to help young people who had kids that were single moms or single dads and couldn't afford childcare. If you didn't have the money, I kept your kid anyway. But so that is my story into why I do the business that I do. I'm also the secretary for a nonprofit called Law and Reign, Title I CDC. I'm the secretary for, it's not a nonprofit, it's a for business, but it's Economic Development Ministry, and it teaches finances and real estate and about stocks. I've worked off and on in my life because I don't like working for other people. So I felt that I wanted to stay at home. I had 3 girls and I didn't want them to go the same route I did. So I worked temp agencies when they turned teenagers. So I can be at home during the summertime because I wasn't going to let no boy come in be at my house while I'm at work. No, I was a very strict parent. So I just like helping people. I like helping young people because so many of them are lost because I was lost, you know. And I work in my community. I just recently moved to Las Vegas, so I don't work in this community in Las Vegas.
Oh, you're in Vegas?
Yeah. So because I don't know it yet. September. Huh?
I mean, September.
Yeah. Call me up. But I'm originally from San Diego, California, and I'm a community advocate in my community. I help fight in social injustice. I wear a lot of hats, but I don't put that out there, and I'm hearing more that I need to. But I just like. I've always been the behind the scenes person.
Okay, but that's going to stop because we're going to work on that. One thing I got a suggestion for both of you guys already. I seen Keisha, you got a website.
Yes, I do.
Okay, if your website
do I put it in the message?
I want you to put it in the message, but I want you to also put it in your bio. It's not in your bio. Do you have a website, Olivia?
No, I'm working on it.
Okay. So if you have a website, you're in business, you need to put it in your bio. Are you on Periscope?
Yes.
Okay. So once you get, did you see what I was talking about, Keisha?
No, but I'll figure it out.
But if you click on your little thing here,
I don't
click on your, what is it? Like at your add button, I think it's your add button. You see it? Click on it. Do you see it there? Do you see a website there?
No.
Okay, that's where I need to go. You could put your message in there.
Okay.
Because people, like if you click on mine, I tell people what I do right here. So they can know, do I want to follow her?
I see.
Or not? And I don't have to be able to, people don't have to go and figure it out. Oh, I want to know more about her, but I need to figure out how to find her. No, What do we call it in business? Call to action.
That's right.
All right. So I want you to put your website in your bio so people could be able, because they're going to see this video. You want people to be able to see who you are.
How do you put it in there?
Hold on, let me turn the recording off.